Outlaw Law is brought to you by Whitaker and Hamer, attorneys and counselors at law. Your law firm for life.
Welcome back into the Outlaw Lawyers. Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer are your hosts, are the managing partners at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, practicing attorneys here in the great state of North Carolina. Offices located in Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay, Varina, Gastonia, and in Morehead City. And our very own Cassandra Nicholas, an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer, joining us from that Morehead City office. Josh, we've got legalese.
Yeah, so the U.S. Supreme Court's been in session, and they've had a lot of cases going to oral arguments. We don't have a lot of decisions yet. A lot of times on this show, we'll wait to talk about a U.S. Supreme Court case until we see what the justices have decided, till we can actually read the opinion of the court. Supreme Court's doing that a little differently this year. They're not releasing those as they go. They're kind of saving them all up, and they're going to get released in bunches. But anyway, last week I saw this case and I kind of looked at the oral arguments that were being made. You know, that's what happens at the U.S. Supreme Court. Eventually you have oral arguments, and just like a small claims courtroom here in Wake County, the attorneys, whoever go in there and they make arguments, and then the justices get to ask them questions. And so this one was kind of funny if you're into that. If you're like us and you like to do that kind of stuff, it was.
Yeah, if you like dogs and you like liquor. Yeah, this is the one for you.
So this was Jack Daniel's Properties versus VIP Products. And so I guess Cassandra, tell us a little bit about what's going on with this one.
So the VIP Products created a dog toy that looks similar to a Jack Daniel's bottle, but there are a number of notable differences. But the argument is whether are those differences enough that a reasonable consumer would believe that this product is not made or sponsored by Jack Daniel's and is actually a parody of it? So that's what's being argued.
Yeah. So this is a dog toy, right? This is a dog toy that has some of the notable trademarks maybe of a Jack Daniel's, and they have used it on this product. It's real funny, right?
It's real funny.
You give your dog a dog toy that's a liquor bottle, or it looks like a liquor product.
I'm looking at it, and it's very similar. The pattern, the branding, obviously doesn't say Jack Daniel's anywhere. Emulates the text. Clear picture of a dog, not included on the Jack Daniel's bottle, and of course it's called Bad Spaniels as opposed to Jack Daniel's. There's your summary.
And then the text under it is changed. So it says, the old number 2 on your Tennessee carpet.
So anyway,
you laugh at that.
Not Jack Daniels. Exactly.
Yeah, and they said, it was a parody. And I saw one of the quotes from Kagan, I believe it was, said, maybe I have no sense of humor, but I don't see the parody in this. And if you can't read the old number 2 on your Tennessee carpet, and maybe you don't like poop jokes, right? Like, we're not going to hold that against you, but you can see it.
I will tell you something, man. This is not pertaining to this case, but I will tell you, none of those Supreme Court justices probably have a very good sense of humor. They probably have neglected their sense of humor.
Yeah, because if you do, you probably get up there and just make a mockery of it, man. You can't do that.
But we like to get together. We like to have a good time. We like to have a good time. We like to be funny. We like to make light of certain things when it's appropriate. And I talk to a lot of people. We go out, we're talking to a lot of people in our practice, right? As lawyers, we consult with a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people. We go out, right? We talk to people.
We party. Is that what you're saying?
Are you
getting at?
Are you down to party?
What I'm saying is, our job. Some jobs you go to your office, you're in your cubicle, you do what you're paid to do, and you leave, and you're not really talking to a lot of people. But in our line of work, we talk to large groups of people. We're talking to people every day, and I will tell you, a lot of people. Maybe do not. Maybe. What am I trying to say here?
I have no idea.
I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that a lot of people have no sense of humor.
That's right.
Yeah. I was with you.
I think comedy in general is lost on a lot of folks.
There's a lot of miserable folks out there, man. A life without humor. What is that?
I can't imagine.
What do you do? You just sit around and you're serious all the time. You read the encyclopedia. Yeah. And you're just sad. Wouldn't you just be sad?
So Jack Daniel's this is where it's coming to play. Jack Daniels does not have a sense of humor with this. They see this as a product that's infringing on their trademark. If they ever decide to make a dog toy, maybe they think they'd make something like this. So trademark law is something that's very much protected, especially in the U.S., probably more than anywhere in the world. We have very detailed trademark laws, what's an infringement, what isn't, but parody is usually protected. And that's why, you know, SNL can do certain things with logos. I just saw, did you see the one with Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Did you see the one that had the what's the name of that box where you poop in the box and you send it back and it tests you for colon cancer? What's that called?
You know, I'm up on a lot of things, but I've been slipping on my poop box research. Man.
Right. I mean, you explained it well, though.
I know what you're talking about. Cologuard, is that what it is?
Something like that. Very good.
But did you see the little skit that Woody Harrelson did about
I
that?
saw some of his skits. You're going to have to summarize it for me.
Well, I'm not going to. Anyway, a lot of that stuff was trademarked, and they changed some of the stuff.
Well, and SNL does that a lot too, right?
Because it's parody.
Sure.
Right? It's parody. It's not
which is protected free speech.
It's protected under the First Amendment. So parody, political speech, right? If there was some kind of Jack Daniels political, I don't know how it would involve politics, but you could use that, right? So there's a lot of ways that what would otherwise be trademark infringement is protected under the First Amendment. And so that's what Jack Daniels is trying to do. Jack Daniels is trying to say, hey, this isn't parody. This is a commercial product that was only created to make money. And that's what they're doing. They're making money off of it. It's not parody. It's not political speech. It shouldn't be protected. And from watching the oral arguments, the Supreme Court really seemed to not see the humor.
Some of them didn't. Jack, I like this. The company's attorney writes, Jack Daniels loves dogs and appreciates a good joke as much as anyone. But Jack Daniels likes its customers even more and doesn't want them confused or associating its fine whiskey with dog poop. That's a real quote, man.
And mind you, taking a case to the Supreme Court is not a cheap ordeal. So Jack Daniels doesn't like this to the point where they've gone through district court of appeals.
I think it's a slippery slope thing, right? Like the assumption being that like it's not just this dog toy. It's the whole argument that they can do it, anybody can do it, essentially.
Yeah,
well, and money wise, that's on the other side of it too. Jack Daniels, I don't know VIP products or whatever, but I just assume Jack Daniels has more money. But the other company wants to keep this specific dog toy so badly that it's willing to not concede all the way to the Supreme Court.
This is their number one idea right here, man. You know,
this is their bread.
You obviously don't subscribe to the VIP products, the monthly newsletter.
Are they sold out?
I mean, if they weren't, if they weren't,
I wonder
they
if
might
I can
be
order
now.
one right now. I don't have a dog, but I could someday.
I thought it was interesting. You had a lot of companies that stepped up and filed their amicus briefs, and they wrote in support of Jack Daniels. A lot of these bigger labels, Nike, Campbell Soup. I don't know how those two were. I don't know how we put those together, but a lot of folks wrote in support of Jack Daniels because a lot of these companies they work hard on their brand, and I think they look at it as a potential tarnishing of their brand or confusing folks. To me,
who's confused?
Yeah, to me, I can, and this goes back to a lot of people don't have sense of humors or a sense of humor.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are just stupid too, man. None of our listeners, nobody listening to this show, obviously.
Yeah.
Smartest show on.
Yeah, geniuses. But there's a lot of dumb people out there, man. And there are people genuinely, like there's somebody who would probably buy this and I can't drink it. I don't know, man.
Well,
I never put it past anybody.
From a non-attorney point of view, is it more precedent? They're very concerned about, the Nikes and the Campbell Soups. Are we going to see swoosh type chew toys or soup can type chew toys in the future?
And I think that there's a limit
that.
to it, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a limit and there's a line to everything. And there's a dog toy that you could have a problem with, in this sense that would not be deemed to be protected free speech. I just don't know if this is the one.
It's such a fine line.
Yeah, there's
Go ahead.
a lot of alcohol-related dog toys.
I know you said, Cassandra, you only exclusively give your dogs alcohol-related dog toys. Didn't I hear you say that?
There's a White Claw related one that looks exactly like a White Claw can, and it just says Pup Claw, and that's the only difference.
My dogs all love liquor. That's one thing.
There's me and Joe often will watch some pro wrestling, but I know out there somewhere, speaking of White Claw, there's a tag team. Do you ever see this tag team?
I don't know, man. You have to give me more than that. You just throw in White Claw.
Now, I want everybody to notice just how
White Claws?
excited Josh
He
is.
perked up, man.
He's about to talk about wrestling. He's about to talk about wrestling.
It's not. It's the White Claws. He loves White Claws, man.
These guys, they were like, they're supposed to be like country guys, right? And they're a tag team. And they call themselves the White Claw Outlaws. And I always thought that was a really good name.
Is this like a recent thing?
I don't think it's super, like the past couple of years.
They're gonna sue. They're gonna sue White Claw, man.
No, that's not parody. But this is a super fine line to, you wouldn't think something like this, the court will radically alter the rules. And I don't know what kind of new test you create. I don't know if you decide that this is too commercial and this isn't protected, what kind of test do you put in place to carve it out so the next case you can apply this logic. I mean, that's always the big thing. It's you hear the Supreme Court folks say will say slippery slope, right? It's a slippery slope. Once you say this one thing's not allowed, well, then somebody's going to bring a case for the thing that's right down the mountain. And do you carve that one off?
Well, like you were talking about SNL, like they're not selling a product, but they are
making money,
potentially tarnishing brands and making money off of it.
So it's I don't know. I think that's one of those things. It's like some things you just have to protect, even if on the outside, on the outside of the circle, there's some questionable calls. In order not to just give it all away, you kind of have to even protect those. And I think the court here will probably say this is okay, just to avoid having to create a new test for attorneys or kind of potentially open the floodgates for more litigation like this. Because again, the big companies like Cassandra said, Jack Daniels has got some money, and Nike's got some money. So if you give them an opportunity to sue folks like VIP Products, they certainly can take it. It's no skin off their back, and they're protecting their brand.
You're not a Jack Daniels guy, are you? Really?
I've never been a Jack Daniels guy.
Me either, man.
Yeah, there's a couple of Gentleman Jack's all right. Gentleman Jack's fine.
Maybe.
But I can't.
Maybe for you. It's not a White Claw. You ever had one of those?
No, I have never had a White Claw.
It's like
or 7.
Yeah. You ever had a Capri Sun? You ever had one of those?
Yeah, delicious.
Drink like 72 of those at once, man.
They should make a Capri Sun that's marketed.
Yeah. That's the $1 million idea right there. Alcohol packaged as Capri Suns
and bigger
portions.
portions.
Man, we got to worry about the kids. That gets back to like
I used to work
Camel smoking cigarettes.
In high school. I worked at Arby's, and I still like Arby's to this day, which is saying something, right? If you work in a restaurant and you still eat their food,
that's pretty.
The fact that you named it and you like it, that's good. Don't go the other way.
No, I enjoy Arby's. I still go to Arby's. So Arby's is delicious, but when I started working there in high school, they had Hawaiian Punch on the soda machine.
Yeah.
And so this guy there, that's all we drank. We drank either Fanta orange drink or Hawaiian Punch constantly. There's this one guy that worked there in the back, and he'd come up and he'd fill up. He had speaking of tumblers, he had this huge tumbler, and this was like the mid-'90s, and he would fill it up with Hawaiian Punch, and he would add mounds of sugar to it.
Nice. Now you got to if you don't put the sugar in there, man, the sugar counteracts the vitamin C, and you don't want too much of that. So you put a couple pounds of sugar in and it's perfect, man. It basically reduces it to the most nutritious thing you can drink.
It was delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah, man.
The Outlaw Lawyers, Josh Whitaker, Joe Hamer, and joining us from the Morehead City office, Cassandra Nicholas. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. If you've got a legal situation that you are facing and you need some help, you've got a question, you can always call the firm, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what the call's about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. You can always email your questions to the show, questions@theoutlawlawyer.com. We're back right after this.